even though Ginny being a redhead is very iconic, I think it's more important for her to have her personality. Or just any personality. Ever. Please. Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. In this video, we are going to be breaking down the new Harry Potter HBO TV series. I was huge into Harry Potter when I was younger, but I have unfortunately not had time to reread the books in quite a while, so I'm a little rusty on some of the facts. Personally, I think this gives me a great opportunity to really embrace this new TV show. But in order to do that, there were some hurdles I had to get over with my attachment to the original series and the original movies. I also have a great interest in all things theater and film related, and I am in film classes, both related to the act of filming, writing these scripts, and editing the final product together. Obviously, I do a lot of editing for YouTube as well. If you are interested in seeing some of my professional work, there's a link down in the description of the video to all my socials, including my professional YouTube account, where I will post short films and other creative projects that I put together that are just a little more professional than the things you will find on this channel, which is mostly just me talking about whatever I want to talk about. And today, that's the HBO Harry Potter TV show. If you want to see more of how I react to the series as more and more things are released, feel free to subscribe. I make similar content to this. I'm also a cosplayer, and I do just want to show off. I have the Deathly Hallow necklace and the Time Turner. And of course, Slytherin headband. I have a whole Hogwarts uniform, but I did not want to put that on. So I just want to start off. When I heard they were making this TV show, the first thing that came to mind was, why? We have the movies. Why do we need to redo them? Those movies, for a book to film adaptation, were pretty darn accurate. Were they perfect? No. But were they pretty good compared to some things I have seen? Yes. But then they started talking about things that they were going to add, and other ways that they were going to explore the wizarding world. Honestly, this headband is starting to annoy me. Personally, I think my hair looks better without a headband. I just wanted to represent Slytherin, okay? And although, in my opinion, the Harry Potter movies were really good, they were not without some flaws. Inevitably, changes will be made every time something is adapted. This is because you are trying to get a different type of person to view this product. Instead of enticing book lovers for Harry Potter, the books, the movies are trying to entice movie fans as well as fans of the original book, which is a very hard line to walk, as there are details that are very important to a book fan but may slow the plot down in a movie, as movies are very fast-paced and have a different overarching plot structure than books often do. But we are not here to talk about the movies. We are here to talk about the TV show. So I was very excited when I heard that they were going to strive to be more book accurate. You know, maybe Harry and Lily will actually have the same eye color. So little things like that, I'm like, okay, I kind of see it. And this series might appeal more to today's young audience, and the special effects might be better. You know, they're posting some really cool animatronic videos for their different creatures, and I honestly think that it's gonna be really cool to see what they're able to make with today's technology and today's audience in mind, while still staying true to the time period that Harry Potter is set in, which we do know from some various photos and leaks, they are staying very true to the time period, more so than the movies did. So on the surface, it may look like they're just doing this to, you know, remake it, have more fun with it, do what they can't do. But let's be for real. The reason they're making it so soon after the movies, well, most of those actors are alive and have great film careers or theater careers now, is because of money. They know they're going to make money off of this. And this worries me. When a project is made for money, it loses its heart and soul. And this is honestly an example of why I think AI should stay out of the art world. Because art is human passion and human creativity put into a format where it can be properly expressed. Some emotions can't be properly expressed through just words, so they're put to songs, and that's why we have stuff like musicals. And every single fandom I have been in, when the creators start worrying more about making money and just churning out content, I'm talking Marvel, I'm talking Star Wars, I'm even controversially talking about the latest Percy Jackson books, they stop feeling genuine. They stop feeling like I am with those characters, and it feels more like I'm just watching something. So as long as they can avoid that, I'm fine with them remaking the Harry Potter TV show. Another thing that came to my mind when I heard about it is, why Harry Potter again? Haven't we already done that? Shouldn't we explore something else in the wizarding world? And that is what I've heard a lot of people saying. But think about it from an industry perspective, because this is what I did not consider at first. They have done this before, and both have gone really bad. Maybe not really bad, but not as good as Harry Potter. We have The Cursed Child, which personally I adore so much. I have been lucky enough to see it twice, and Albus and Scorpius genuinely mean so much to me. I may also in the future make a video breaking down The Cursed Child and what I do like and what I don't like about it. So comment below if you would like to hear that video from me, as it is one that I would really love to make. But The Cursed Child faces so much controversy for breaking a lot of the pre-established rules in Harry Potter. I personally wish that they had given it more thought. And that's why I think that they were just making it for money. They knew it would be successful. And by they, I mean the people who came up with the idea for it and wrote the script. I don't think those people put in enough work. I think the actors and the crew members did an incredible job bringing the magic to life on stage. And that is not an easy feat to accomplish. But so many Harry Potter fans refuse to watch The Cursed Child because it mischaracterizes a lot of our beloved characters such as Ron and Ginny, and breaks fundamental rules about the Harry Potter world, such as you can't change the past with time traveling. Not to mention, the pure existence of Delphi grosses out a lot of fans, and to be honest, it does to me as well. Like I said, I can make a whole video explaining what I would have done if I was writing the Cursed Child script, and just a few little things that could genuinely fix the Cursed Child, fix all those plot holes, and fix the mischaracterization. Needless to say, The Cursed Child is making money, although on Broadway right now, they did have to bring in the Tom Felton to play Draco Malfoy. My guess because they were losing money. It is a very expensive production. They tried there. They tried to give us another version of the story, what happens next. And people weren't happy with it, and a lot of fans don't even take The Cursed Child to be canon. They tried again with the Fantastic Beasts movies. And personally, once again, I love those movies. Do they have flaws? Yes. But does Harry Potter have flaws? Also yes. And once again, I could make a whole video explaining the Fantastic Beasts and why it's actually not as bad as people make it out to be. But those films got put on pause, and I don't know if they were ever officially canceled. The last I heard was after the third one flopped in the box office, which sucks. I went to see it in the box office. Guys, it wasn't that bad. I didn't see it in the box office. I'm talking too much about theater. I saw it in the theaters. But like the movie theaters? I saw it on the big screen. There we go. Or we can be British. I saw it in the cinemas. Those flopped. So why would these producers, if they're looking for something new to put into the Harry Potter universe, take a risk with something else? They know the Harry Potter books are going to be a success. So maybe instead of everyone online, me included at first. I mean, I never went online about it, but people should stop posting and being like, we want new original content, and then hating the new original content. If you want new original content, don't hate on it. Well, I would love to see a film about the Black Sisters' origin, or something digging more into the Marauders, or maybe even Snape's time at Hogwarts. I am an avid Snape hater, but maybe getting more details about his backstory could change my opinion on him. I think those kinds of stories would be very fascinating to explore. But I do understand not wanting to take that risk, especially in a time where so many creative projects are not financially succeeding. Rebooting Harry Potter into a TV show guarantees success. They know they're going to make money off of it, and everyone signing on to work on it knows that they're going to have a good career. So they have interest both in the industry and from an audience point of view. So once I fully accepted that, this TV show is going to happen, it sparked some curiosity from me. They were saying that they were going to be more book accurate than the movies were, and those movies were really book accurate. So I was really excited to see where they were going to go with that. And then they started doing this weird thing where they would take something from the movies that the movies had changed from the book. Unfortunately, I can't think of any of these off the top of my head, as they are all pretty specific, but Movie Flame, I will try to remember to link his YouTube channel in the description of my video, has made videos covering this before, and that is where I got a lot of my information from. For example, Hagrid's outfit. Hagrid's outfit isn't described in like that much detail. Like, you can still make your own creative design of Hagrid's outfit that is book accurate without copying it from the movies. And the Hogwarts ties in the book aren't described to have stripes on them. They also aren't described to be a solid color, so adding stripes does not necessarily go against the book, but it's something unique to the movie. And I think the TV show needs to make itself more unique from the movies in a way that stays accurate to the books. It seems that the way they are trying to make themselves unique is through their design of Hogwarts. Hogwarts in the movies is a very iconic building, and you can find models of it everywhere, including Universal Studios. Everyone can recognize the silhouette of Hogwarts and can picture the Great Hall. So the TV show took it upon themselves to make Hogwarts more unique by basically making plants grow out of it. There are trees that are part of Hogwarts. There are vines growing out of the walls as opposed to going up them. And while this is a very unique design that honestly I'm excited about, they took away some of the book accurate descriptions, such as the floating candles in the Great Hall. Those aren't from the movie. Those are from the book. So you can still include those while distancing yourself from the movies. It's just these little decisions that I don't understand why they're doing it. They completely redesigned the look of Bertie Bott's Every Flavor beans, like the container, and the chocolate frog. Yet they keep Hagrid's exact costume, yet they take away the candles that are actually in the book. And it wouldn't be that big of a deal, except they promised us that they were going to try to make this as book accurate as possible. And that isn't what they're doing. That upsets me, when someone promises something and then they don't deliver. But there are still things to be excited about, because we are going to get to move away from Harry's perspective. The films do this just the tiniest bit. And honestly, everything that we see that isn't from Harry's perspective is still stuff that Harry finds out about later. But we have confirmation that there will be a scene at the Malfoy Manor before Draco heads off to Hogwarts. We don't yet know if this will be before or after Draco goes to Diagon Alley, but I'm really excited to see this and understand some of Draco's motivations before going into the story. We're also going to see the scenes where Hermione and Ron get their Hogwarts letters, and I think for Hermione especially, this is going to be very important character development and show where her motivations come from. Because yes, Hermione could come off as very arrogant at first, and does to Ron and Harry, who don't understand her development, who don't understand like her background. Just as Draco comes off as a bully. He is a bully. I'm not defending his actions, but I'm defending him a little bit. We, the audience, are going to have more sympathy for these characters and understand why they are perceived the way they are. Does it justify Draco's actions? No. But does it make us understand them? Yes. And honestly, for an 11-year-old, it is pretty common to act the way that your parents would. And I could make a whole nother video discussing Draco, and Draco's complicated, and it's hard to talk about him without the fandom being like, oh, he's just a little baby, he didn't do anything wrong. He did a lot of things wrong. He just wasn't as bad as a lot of the other characters. I think this TV show has great potential to expand upon the world that we love and add things that we didn't get to see in the movies. But I think they are just doing something really weird. Personally, I am still very excited to see what it's able to do, and I'm never going to fully judge a project until I see the final product. That is why I have been very hesitant to talk about it until now. Now that we're actually getting official trailers and official set tours and costume tours and behind the scenes footage, I feel comfortable talking about what we know so far. Now, the one other thing I do want to address in this video is possibly one of the most controversial things about this TV show, and that is Snape. Now, I don't understand why this was the first casting they announced. They should have announced the casting they know we're going to be all really excited about, such as the Golden Trio, before announcing one of their more controversial casting decisions. They had to have known that it was going to be controversial. There is no way to not know that. I don't have a problem with changing character appearances. I have a problem with changing the plot and changing characters. And oftentimes these come hand in hand. Now I will say, I love character appearances, and I would love for a film adaptation to be 100% accurate. That's never really going to happen, and ultimately you should choose the actor who can best handle the role as opposed to one who isn't as good in the role and looks like the character. Ginny in the movies looked exactly like Ginny in the books, but we all saw what happened there. Not that that was the actress's fault, that was very much the script and the acting coaches and the directors. I want to emphasize that. Especially with child actors, it is rarely their fault when the character they're playing gets misrepresented. They got the role because of their talent, but they cannot fully unlock that talent without an accurate script and acting coaches and directors. It's up to those three things as to how the character will be portrayed. The actors are just doing their job. It's the other people who are making the important decisions. So please never send hate to the actors, especially when they are just children. But basically, I would have much preferred in the movies an actress to play Ginny just how she is in the book and have a different hair color or something. Even though Ginny being a redhead is very iconic, I think it's more important for her to have her personality. Or just any personality. Ever. Please. I'm going to use Percy Jackson as an example now. I think Dior is the perfect Clarice. I actually have huge issues with the way Clarice is portrayed in the TV show, but it has way more to do with hair and makeup designs than anything else. And I think the script, honestly, is pretty good to Clarice. I don't think it is good to some of the other characters, but that would be a whole nother video. But I think Dior perfectly embodies Clarice's character and adds even more to her than we are able to see through the books, as the books are from Percy's perspective. So I think this TV show has the potential to do that with so many of the different characters because we're not stuck just from Harry's perspective. Dior's appearance not matching Clarice's appearance in the book is not a big deal because Clarice's appearance is not important. I have seen people get so confused about Clarice's appearance. Honestly, I think she might be described to have a different appearance in a few books. I know Selena does at least. Snape's appearance in the book seems like it wouldn't affect his character, except it does. I can't talk too much about this, but I have seen some comments explaining how a lot of people from the US don't understand the significance of Snape's appearance to his background, but apparently there's some stuff in the UK around that time, social classes, stuff like that, that's all really important to Snape's character and can only be fully understood by someone who has grown up there. I know some of my viewers are from the UK, so please let me know about that. I would love to learn more. I have seen some comments, like I said, I didn't memorize all the information and I don't want to accidentally say something that is not true and spread false information. Now, changing Snape's backstory a bit to make it so the best actor who can play him, I have literally no issue with that. What I do have an issue with is a lot of other things about Snape. This is going to be really bad representation, honestly, because it's going to make everyone else look racist or Snape just look really stereotypical of some really harmful stereotypes. Snape literally joins an evil gang. Yes, he does it as a spy, but he still joins it. And everyone thinks that he is part of this evil gang until way later. So if you're just watching the TV show and you haven't read the books and you haven't seen the movies, that doesn't look good. Additionally, Harry is immediately suspicious of Snape the second he sees him. How is that going to look? Harry is immediately suspicious of the only black professor at Hogwarts. Honestly, to make this better, you might need to race swap some other characters as well, because we have not seen that done for any of the other professors. Additionally, when Snape was a child, he was bullied relentlessly by James. James says that his problem against Snape is Snape just existing. Based on Harry's appearance, unless Harry's adopted, which would not work because of the whole you look just like your father except your eyes, you have your mother's eyes. So Harry's not adopted. James is going to be white. And I sincerely hope that Sirius and Peter are also white because once again, if you race swap them, you are contributing to very harmful stereotypes where Sirius is immediately accused of like unaliving his friends and imprisoned in Azkaban, and considered to be insane. And Peter is the one who actually did that and actually betrayed everyone. You know, maybe Remus could be race swapped. I don't see a problem with that. And I don't see a problem with race swapping James either, except for the fact that we know he isn't going to be. So James and his friends, one of whom is definitely going to be white, two of whom I sincerely hope they're white, otherwise they're adding to the problem, one of whom I don't know, hang Snape from a tree. Why? Because he exists. That is problematic in itself for so many reasons, and you add a whole nother level of so many messed up things when you take into account the fact that Snape is black and this group is most likely white. I think there are plenty of characters who could be race swapped, the primary one being Hermione Granger. And I'm not exactly sure of Arabella's ethnicity, and I don't really think it's our business. She is a child. But her skin is darker than Emma Watson's was, and Hermione has been already race swapped in The Accursed Child. I think that is a good idea, along with a lot of other characters. But I think Snape is the wrong character to do this unless you race swap a bunch of other people. If you race swapped James, and maybe also some of the other professors, so that Harry doesn't single Snape out. Also, if you race swap James, Harry is now mixed, and that helps. But just Snape? I have no doubt that this actor is going to do a fantastic job. Please do not send any hate to the actor. Don't send hate to anyone, honestly. Now, I will say, I am white. Ultimately, I can't say like too much about this, but I have seen a lot of black creators raising these same concerns, and I'm just worried. Like, I'm worried about the next generation of kids being racist or seeing themselves portrayed in a negative view. And I think this could have either been avoided by casting a white actor to play Snape or casting more black actors to play stereotypically white, not stereotypically, traditionally white roles. Like I said, I'm not opposed to race bending. I am just opposed to changing the plot. Like, I believe my exact note I wrote down was Snape's appearance changes the plot, not just his appearance. I'm not opposed to changing someone's appearance, I'm opposed to their appearance then changing the plot, and so much character motivation and so much subtext, and it's just gonna create this really bad environment. And yeah, like I said, I either think that Snape should have been cast as a white actor, or I think that other characters who have been cast with white actors should have actually been cast with black actors to help even this out. I do think Harry Potter is a place where more representation is needed, but I don't think Snape is the right character to be your single piece of it. Because overall, he's not even a good person, okay? He might be fighting on the side for good, but bro threatens to kill Neville's toad in front of him. He says he's going to poison Neville's toad in front of him. Neville is a child. You know it's bad when a child's biggest fear is their teacher, while there's an active war happening. I don't think that people are racist for saying that. I think they are racist if they are saying that he shouldn't have been cast simply because he's black and like that he doesn't have a place in the series, the actor, you know? Or that if they're sending like death threats to him or saying like all these awful racist things, obviously none of that should happen. But I think it's okay to raise concerns, especially when the TV show says that they're going to be book accurate. And I'm okay, like I said, with changing an appearance, but this isn't going to be book accurate anymore, not because of Snape's appearance, but because of the way everyone interacts with Snape. Suddenly you have a whole bunch of racist characters, and I just don't understand how they're going to handle that. I really wasn't planning on talking about this TV show until it came out to see how they handle it, but I have seen so many people talking about it, I just felt like I needed to pop in here and like officially talk about my thoughts on it, since I do have a lot of Harry Potter content on my channel. I didn't want to have to explain this in the comment section on some video when it eventually gets brought up. So please let me know honestly what your thoughts are on this series overall. Are you excited for these changes? Are you confused about the changes when they said it was going to be book accurate? And what are your thoughts on Snape's casting? As always, don't send hate to anyone. I'm honestly excited about this TV show and the changes that it could bring, because not all change is bad, and I have spent the past couple years kind of accepting that. A lot with the Percy Jackson TV show, which I don't like, but the cast isn't the reason for that. Leah is a great example of what I'm saying. Race swapping Annabeth doesn't affect the plot. People can still underestimate her, you know, it doesn't just have to be because she's blonde, she's still a girl. So she's still going to get underestimated. No one is like discriminating against her for no particular reason like Harry is Snape. Harry just goes, yeah, that dude, I think he's suspicious. And that's just gonna come across really wrong. Yeah, that has been all in this video. Please be kind in the comments, okay? Kind to everyone. I would love to hear all of your like honest opinions on this, as long as everyone's kind to each other. Thank you so much for watching. Don't send hate to anyone. This has nothing to do with the actor, and it has everything to do with just the way Snape is portrayed. I think Snape is like not a great person, and I think that it's just going to create a lot of harmful stereotypes and paint a lot of the other Harry Potter characters in a very bad lens. I'm interested to see how they handle it. Until then, I will make more content. Maybe I'll make more Harry Potter content if this video goes well. Please let me know which video you would like me to make next out of the ones that I listed. Let me know your thoughts on the TV show, and I will see you all in the next video.